heavy, and she hugged it closer. The breeze picked up between the Venetian buildings, blowing gently down the narrow canal. She continued forward, over the small bridge, up the walkway, past the arriving gondoliers who watched her and wondered. Grant told her she moved differently, with singular grace and arrogance, and she looked like what she was, strong and dangerous. And then he'd held her close, stroked her long hair and whispered against her temple that only the very stupid or the very desperate would mess with her. She felt a warm punch to her heart thinking of her husband of 10 months, how the green of his eyes turned nearly black when he was kissing her. Soon she would be with him again. She would give the prize to the client and be gone. She'd fulfilled the first part of the job 3 days earlier, when she'd pulled off one of the most fun heists of her career. She'd dyed her hair the deepest black, worn brown contacts, and used a semi-permanent stain to make her skin appear 2 shades deeper. A process she didn't relish, but it helped her blend in beautifully with the population of Istanbul. With her forged credentials, which included a signature from Turkish military leader Hulusi Akar, the palace authorities had followed orders and assigned her to work security at the Topkapi Palace. It had taken her more than 3 months to work her way out of the harem complex and into special security in the Holy Relics exhibit, where Moses's staff was displayed. Her arms had gotten tired carrying the H&K MP5 machine gun all day. Even with the strap around her neck and shoulder, the carbine got heavy, and being on alert for 12 hours at a time was exhausting. Despite the heat and grit and the hordes of tourists trooping in and out of the treasure-filled rooms in the palace, her assigned areas gave her a lovely view of the Bosphorus. The sun shined on the water, sprinkling diamonds. The sea breezes cooled her, and the tourists gathered nearby to take photos. She was careful, very careful, never to get in the shots. It wouldn't do to have someone post a photo of her on Facebook accidentally, have some government drone monitoring the internet run the photos through facial recognition and blow her cover. She wondered again. Did her unknown client really believe that what she carried in her hands was the very embodiment of power? That what she carried wasn't simply an ancient knob of wood, but the actual staff of Moses? Or, as some called it, Aaron's rod? No matter what it was called, the staff was one of the most sought-after and priceless artifacts in the world, and she'd managed to break into the Holy Relics exhibit after hours and take the staff out of its lighted case after cutting the wires to the security alarm, and disappeared. And that brought a smile of satisfaction. No more inky black hair, no more dark brown eyes. The stain washed away. She was back to her blue eyes, her white skin, and her own dark hair. Yes, it had been a clean, perfectly executed job, one of her best, and she, the fox, had a string of risky, daring jobs behind her. The international news channels were still leading with the theft. No way she was going to take a chance of being caught in the crosshairs. She'd make the delivery, get her other $5 million, go home to Capri, and talk Grant into visiting Australia or America, anywhere away from Europe. He was due for a vacation, having spent the last 3 months in Afghanistan guarding a high-ranking British officer. The house she was going to was only a drop site. She'd used this protocol many times. Empty house, the owner's probably on vacation. Clients rarely wanted the fox to know where they lived. She wondered who would be there to receive the stolen staff. A winding alleyway took her deeper into the neighborhoods, along the canals, and there it was, a simple, classic Venetian home, red brick, the 2nd and 3rd floors balconied, set between a narrow street and a small canal. She went up the steps, knocked on the dark green door, waited a moment before the thick old wood swung open. An older man in a dark suit and silver tie told her to come.